Well, hello my little rays of sunshine. How are you all doing out there today? I'm Michelle the Introvert, and today I have a project, a very special project that I'm going to be working on today. And it's actually a project that has to do with tomatoes. See the tomatoes here? And I have a wonderful recipe, and this is actually my mother-in-law's recipe. And I'm going to call this Doreen's tomato sauce. At the top here, it just says tomato sauce, but because this is an extra special recipe, I'm going to call it Doreen's tomato sauce. And this is Doreen's handwriting here. And I was wondering if you all want to join me today as I work on this fall project. Here we are in late August, so I have fall in mind, and I have some wonderful tomatoes that I picked up on sale. So today is the perfect day to work on this. Doreen's tomato sauce. Tomatoes. Dip in very hot water, then cold water. The skins will crack and be very easy to remove. About 10 carrots chopped, 6 onions chopped, 1 bunch of celery chopped, salt and pepper to taste. Combine in a large pot and simmer for 6 to 6.5 hours. Allow to cool until just warm. Pour into freezer containers or put about 1.5 to 2 cups into freezer bags. Carefully press air out. Seal and stack in freezer. Do not fill bag over 3/4 full. To use: take out of freezer, let thaw in a bowl and use for sauce or a base for soup. Good just like it is with crackers. I made this recipe once before, a few years ago, and it turned out wonderful. So I thought it would be nice to share it with all of you. So let's begin. Doreen's recipe doesn't specify just how many tomatoes I'm going to need, so I'm just going to use all of them. This is 3 liters here, and this is 3 liters there. So I'm going to use them all. Why not? And I have more than enough carrots here. I'm only going to need 10 of these. And I have some nice onions here. So let's see, how many onions? I only need 6 onions according to the recipe. So that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, this is pretty big, this one. So I think it'll do just fine. I forgot to put the celery on the countertop with the other vegetables. So here it is here. So I have to get this chopped up as well. So what I'm thinking, my friends, is I'll wait to do the tomatoes. I'll wait to do these. And I think that my first project will be to get the celery, the carrots, and the onions all taken care of, and the salt and pepper, get that all chopped up and taken care of. Of course, get everything washed first. And then I have my pot in the back here. Whoop, there it is. And I'm going to put the vegetables in this pot, and this is what everything is going to cook in today. I'm making very good progress, and as you can see in the back, I've done my carrots, I've finished my celery, and I realized while I was doing the food prep that I would probably need a second pot because there's a lot of vegetables. When you see it all put together, you know, a person realizes, I might need a little more room. So I have a second pot here. So both of those pots will be used today. My celery is all washed and cut up. And with my carrots, instead of me putting my carrots in a chopper, I'm going to be using the food processor. So I got them all peeled and washed and the ends cut up. But as you can see from the size and the shape, these will be sliced with my food processor into nice slices. So that'll be a lot quicker than using the food chopper for my carrots. And I'm going to be using the food processor for the celery as well. And there's my food processor all ready to go. And down here are my onions. And my onions will be going into this food chopper. The onions, celery, and carrots are in these 2 pots here. And what I've done is I've taken out my big canning pot and I've got some water in there. And in just a moment, I'm going to start heating this water up. Now, before I put anything in there, I've got to get these tomatoes. Some of them have bruises. This one here has a bruise. See the bruise there? Well, I'm going to wash all of these tomatoes, and any bruises that I find, I'm going to just cut them out, and then I'll put them in the hot water. And right where these baskets are, I'm going to put a couple of bowls of ice water. So after the tomatoes dip into the hot water, I'll put the tomatoes into the ice water. So that's my next step. Up the 2 bowls of water and I've just put the ice cubes in there as well. And if you look at the pot here, it's starting to get quite steamy. It's getting quite warm, so it's almost time to put the tomatoes in there. Now when I put the tomatoes in there, I'm not going to put the cover on because I want to kind of keep a close watch on those tomatoes. And when it looks like the skins are coming off, then that'll be great. And then I'll just put them in the ice water right over there. You can hear that the water is warming up, and I'm just going to take this cover off. You'll be able to see a bit of steam there. I'm going to put the lid down, and then I'm going to start putting the tomatoes in that pot. I'm so glad I have this huge pot, and it's doing a wonderful job. Look at this tomato here. You can see it starting to crack a little bit on the side here. So it's almost time to take them out, but not quite. This one doesn't have any cracks in it yet, but this one is, see that there? Still needs to heat up a little tiny bit more. Just not too much more, but a little bit more. After only a couple of minutes, look at this tomato here where the skin has come off. So I definitely think it's time to put this in the ice water. After being in the ice water, the tomatoes are very cool to the touch. They don't burn my fingers or anything. But I will say that I have learned one thing. Cooking and kitchen work is always a learning time for me. I think that what I would do different next time is when I wash the tomatoes, I would cut the stem out first before putting them in this big pot here. Because now I have to take the paring knife and cut that out. And then, as you can see, the skins come off really, really easy. They come off really, really easy. They peel off. So going in the hot water and then the cold water really makes a difference. It helps the peeling. And so now I'm just going to continue taking my paring knife and cutting the tomatoes up. I'll show you what I've done so far. I've been just using my paring knife and cutting them up. Not in small pieces, but in big pieces. And I'll make sure that the tomatoes get distributed evenly between the two pots. So that's what I'm going to do. Here, I'll show you a piece here. It's very squishy to the touch, but my hands are nice and clean. I always clean my hands. So I'm just going to continue on, my friends, with these tomatoes. The tomatoes are all peeled and in the pots. And just before I turn the stove on to start cooking everything, I wanted to show you my progress here. You can see that these tomatoes are just cut in chunks like this, but they're going to break down as they cook. So it's going to be in there with all those wonderful vegetables. And before I turn the stove on to start cooking everything, I'm going to add the salt because I haven't put salt in quite yet. But you can just imagine how wonderful this is going to be with the celery, the carrots, the onions, and the tomatoes, and then the salt as well, once this all starts cooking down. The recipe says salt and pepper to taste, so I've got a Tupperware measuring spoon and it's 1/4 a teaspoon. So I might put 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper in this pot and then 1/4 a teaspoon of black pepper into this pot. I don't want it too hot, so I think that 1/4 might be a good start. I have my salt that I'm going to put in, and I think I'm just going to put 1/2 a teaspoon of salt in this pot and then 1/2 a teaspoon of salt in that pot. these 2 pots here have to simmer for 6 hours. So I just turned the stove on. Gonna take this out and put the covers on. And of course, in that 6 hours, I'll be stirring it off and on. And I'll bring you all along so you can see the progress. This wonderful tomato sauce, how it does. Doreen's tomato sauce. Doreen's tomato sauce is all done, and I have them put in all of these wonderful freezer containers. And I'll give you a nice close-up of what this looks like now. And this is all cooled down. I should have mentioned that. This is all cooled down. And feast your eyes on this little beauty. It's got lots of colors and it smells really wonderful. I have big plans for each of these containers. There's just so much I can do with this tomato sauce. I can use it as a soup base. I can put it on crackers. I can put it in with my spaghetti sauce. Oh, there's just so many wonderful things I can use this for. It's very, very practical. It's a big project, I will admit, but it's definitely worth it. Especially if you can get the tomatoes on sale or grow your own tomatoes and other vegetables too. But now that it's done, it's done. And when I need it, all I have to do is take it out of the freezer. So it's very handy. And it's a very practical recipe too. So now all I have to do is put labels on it, on each of them, and put them in the freezer. And they're all set to go. I have one more item that I'd like to share with you. And that is mail call. Yes, I went to my P.O. box and this was in the mail, so I'm very excited. And this package here is from Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada. And as a lot of you already know, I really like geography. So looky what I have here. I have my map of Canada. Here's Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, which is where I live. And if you go to the left over New Brunswick, past Quebec, past Ontario, then you get to Manitoba right there. And Winnipeg is down here at the bottom of the province. I always love it when you send me mail in my P.O. box. It's very exciting. It almost feels like Christmas time and my birthday every time I receive something in the mail. Oh, jeez. Oh, what's this? What is this? Oh my goodness, what is this? Elizabeth Struthers, a prayer for Teresa. Wow, this is nice. A prayer for Teresa. Right there. Wow, this is really nice. A beautiful book. I wonder where this is from. It says E. Struthers. And on here it says Elizabeth Struthers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, this is amazing. Oh my goodness, there's something written inside. I was just reading what is written in the front here. To Michelle, from one of your adventure followers. Hope you enjoy my book. E. Struthers. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth, this is amazing. Oh my goodness, you wrote this book. This is amazing. Wow, this is amazing. A prayer for Teresa. Wow, that's really nice. And I'll read a little bit of the back here for all of you, so you have a bit of an idea what this wonderful book is about. Everything can change in an instant. Teresa Lasserre is a young French woman who traveled to the fortified town of Louisbourg in 1749 to work as a servant for a wealthy family. In her precious spare moments, she met the love of her life, married him, and started a life in the colony. Then, her world falls to pieces. Her husband dies on a stormy sea, leaving her pregnant and alone to survive in this rough, unknown land. Armed with nothing but her faith and her determination to survive, Teresa must tackle a new wave of challenges. And it continues on from there, and it sounds very, very interesting. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth. This sounds like an amazing book. Guess what I'm going to be starting to read tonight while I'm relaxing with a cup of tea. I'm going to start reading your book. Well, thank you so much. This is amazing. Wow, I can't even express just how amazed I am that you would send me your book. This looks absolutely terrific. Wow, thank you so much. What a wonderful gift. Thank you very, very much. You know, my viewers, my special friends, you're always constantly amazing me and surprising me. Between the messages that you send to me, like the comments under our videos, and the postcards that you send, and the gifts that you send to Joshua, and wonderful books. Oh my goodness, thank you. I have the best viewers in the whole entire world. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I hit the jackpot with all of you. I think you're just absolutely wonderful and amazing. You're always surprising me, and you're all such a pleasure. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing the videos so much, is because all of you all make it worth my while, and I have fun making videos, but you are all a treasure. You definitely are. You're just all treasures to me. Well, my friends, I want to thank you so much for spending the day with me. It was great that you could keep me company. It was a very, very busy kitchen day, but it's always a joy having you there with me, that I have someone to talk to, so it's really nice. If you like this vlog, please give me the YouTube thumbs up or press that subscribe button. That would be great. And I have more vlogs coming up, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to you all soon. Talk to you soon, my friends. Bye. Bye.